the destiny of Joseph ending up in Egypt will take place. The Almighty, when we take upon ourselves a task, a divine task, we don't realize it right away, but He sends all kind of angels, all sorts of. Only when you look back, you look at it. 1965. Less than 4 weeks before school opened, the first year, we had 47 students registered from all the grades. It never happened that you open all grades at one shot, at least not in the Hebrew Day School movement. Crisis number one was, we didn't have a home. We didn't have a school. We didn't have. Lo and behold, we see a sign in front of the home that's behind the new building right now. It was on a Sunday afternoon. I stopped by it. And I inquired. It was approximately, they were asking for $50,000 with $10,000 down payment. We met that very, when I say we, there was Jack Scheinbein, there was Arthur Spitz, there was Sheldon Zinn, and there was Helen Pyan. And we met. Crisis number two. How can we get hold of $10,000? We could raise among ourselves maybe $1,000, but $10,000 for down payment? We dismissed for a while. The next morning, Monday, I took it upon myself to go and visit banks. On my list, there were 3 banks. One was called Valley Bank, Valley National Bank. Maybe some of you newcomers don't know or don't remember. The other one was called the United Bank. And they had a building, the UB on Central Avenue. And the other one was called the Arizona Bank. I started with the biggest, the Valley National Bank. To make a story short, got absolutely nowhere. We don't loan down payment. Down payment is what you put for work. But the ignorance that I was, of course, I was telling him what it was for. I stopped at the United Bank, didn't get anywhere. And I stopped at the Arizona Bank. The Arizona Bank had a branch, what's called Park Central. Those days, if you remember, the branch manager was a boss. He called the shots for that branch, And I speak to him. And he also laughs at my naivete, You're trying to buy something and you don't put any money down at all, and you want to borrow the down payment, which is completely against the banking system. The manager I was talking to was a Mormon. His name was Sid Johnston. He laughed, but he was sympathetic. So he said, I'll tell you what to do, Rabbi. If you can bring 1 or 2 people, at least preferably 2 people, to sign on a note for the $10,000, we'll make an exception. within days, we met Jack Scheinbein and Arthur Spitz came to the bank and met Sid Johnston. Art Spitz signed, and we got the $10,000. What I'm saying is this, you don't do this thing on your own. You took upon yourself to do something. The Almighty sends all kind of messengers, all kind of helpers. You cannot do anything by yourself. It didn't take us too long after school started to realize that it takes a village. You can succeed in the classroom, but it was not enough. Then it takes a village. And then the process began. The next thing is the need of an Orthodox shul, which didn't exist. And true, as we went along with the process, we never duplicated anything. There was no Orthodox shul. We had to come up with one. There were issues with kashrut. You couldn't get cheese here. There was no bakery. There was none. Yes. And so we worked on that. And so ultimately the Vara kashrut emerged. We realized that we were in the community building business. You had to build a community. And the truth of the matter, that community building process has been going on and on and on and never stopped. And it won't stop for the next 50 years. We needed opportunities. We needed opportunities for growth for the adult population. Torah education. And we got it. We had to fill it. We had to address needs. We were not duplicating anything. There were needs. We identified them and tried to address them. The academy, in essence, became the academy community. Today, yes, Phoenix is destination. For a long time, Phoenix was not. There was no mikveh. We provided the first mikveh. There was no eruv. We called the first meeting at the academy for the eruv. Chabad came in and has enriched the community with all multi-activities all throughout. Social programs that made life much easier. And we worked together. We had the yeshiva high school for 5-6 years. And some of those who graduated went on to yeshivot and further. True, Valley National Bank no longer exists. United Bank no longer exists. Arizona Bank doesn't exist. But the academy still thrives, and it will continue to thrive. Thrives because we have tried and we will continue to try to surround ourselves with people that makes it possible. They were always Vayimtzaeu is that angel, that man that gets there and help you. I couldn't do all of what it is to today. There's no way I could do that. If it wasn't for Rabbi Weiner that worked and advocated and come up with the ID, with the quorum, I had nothing to do with that. He just came up with an idea and I said, great. And say, there were a lot of partners. Rabbi Kupperman has been a partner for how many years? He insists that it's at least 30 years. Is it? You see, we have Sheila Schaefer as the General Studies boss. We have a great General Studies faculty, and we're driving further. We have an office and a staff in the office that is the envy of many institutions. And we all know, I'm talking about Vanessa and Rochelle, joined in. Wonderful, really is incredible. All of this, it's not one person. And we have most and above all, an incredible executive committee that's been working for years and years. All of them. And they're all here. And they've been a big, with all of that, yes, it's easy to move on. We have a great deal more to work with than we had 50 years ago. One last word. The admiration, the importance accorded to the child, to children, is universal in almost all cultures and all things. The child is the center, the focus of our activities. But in Judaism, there are two other elements involved and connected to the issue of the child. One, the fact that the very first commandment given to man is Rebibo, being fruitful and multiplying, having children. It connects children to the concept of creation. When we have children and we care for the children, we are also involved in reaffirming the concept of creation and God the creator. The second thing is, Judaically speaking, we find that there is a special ingredient added to the relationship between children and parents. On several occasions, he says, "Ha'eladim asher chanan Elokim et avdecha." Elokim yachoncha beni, it says, the children which were entrusted. The concept of trust is involved. We are trustees, besides being parents. We are trustees with regard to Vishinantam Levonecha, thou shalt teach the children. We are the trustees responsible for the transmission, for the Masorah, to the next generation, to the children. We're responsible to equip them, as Rabbi Kupperman said, to give them the tools to survive and to continue. And continue we will with God's help. Thank you very much for all.